Welcome to South Art's Soaring Stories.
We're your hosts, Holly and Garrett.
Today on our podcast is going to be our superintendent, Mrs. Walker. So I'll get right to it, and we're going to ask some questions. So, what is your name and role at the school?
Good morning. My name is Jewel Walker, and I serve as the superintendent, and this is my first year in that role here at South Art.
So, when did you start working at South Art?
Actually, 3 years ago, I started as the high school principal, so I served 2 years in that role. And based on interviewing and the need for a new superintendent, I decided that I would look at this role, and I got it after interviewing with the board and some of the teachers. And I'm pleased to still be at South Hart in this capacity.
So that brings me to another question. So, what do you like better, being a principal or superintendent?
Actually, they both have their positive parts. I actually, as the principal, felt like it was better to interact with kids because I get a lot of energy from kids and teachers, and I really like to impact and affect the change within the classroom. And I could do that on a daily basis. As the superintendent right now, I spend some of my time in my office responding to emails or different calls, working with businesses, different things that has an overarching effect on the school district. So sometimes there's not that opportunity to interact with the students or the teachers as much.
Okay. So, where were you working before you came to South Art?
Actually, I moved from Montana, and my previous roles, I served over 20 years as a superintendent and sometimes superintendent principal. I then was at the Office of Public Instruction in the state of Montana as the deputy superintendent, and I also served as a field service specialist with the Montana School Boards Association. So I served in different roles, which gave me a great perspective of all of education. So then we decided we were going to move to North Dakota because my husband works in Bowman. And so we moved into this area because we've got kids in Watford City as well as in Billings. So we're kind of centrally located.
Yep. Sounds like you got a lot of experience in being superintendent all over the place, so that's good.
Yeah. Yes, it helps with this position because it's a larger school, and with the growth in population as well as opportunity to see where we need to go next,
Yep.
That is beneficial. So.
So, how would you describe a typical day in your position within the school?
Usually I get here early in the morning and respond to emails, or a lot of times there's young people who like to come play basketball for open gym, and so providing them that opportunity and getting to see students early in the morning is always a good thing, as well as those who want to play for our Eagle basketball team. Which we're looking forward to.
Go Eagles.
Yes, that's right. Girls have already started, boys will soon. And so that opportunity in the morning is great to be able to start with it. It just varies. Sometimes there are meetings and there are like special student services for special education. There's like this morning, it was a Vital Network in which we're looking at the culture of our school from the teacher and principal perspective. So it's looking at how we can always continue to improve.
So that brings me to another question. What's one part of your job that most people wouldn't know?
Wouldn't know that I have to deal with buses.
Buses?
Whether they need the oil change, they need tires replaced, whether there's a mechanical issue. And actually, that's one thing I've never got is my bus driver's endorsement. I did different things to help in food service in the lunchroom, but I never got my CDL. I did, however, have my husband do that. But so I have to reach out to a lot of other resources to work on buses. But yes, that's the one part that's very difficult.
Yeah. Most people probably wouldn't know that about you.
Uh-uh.
Okay. Are there any exciting events coming up for this school?
You know, again, we'll say basketball. We like the fact that we are building our own support team and our own teams. And I really believe our future is great with what we are doing and the number of students who want to be involved with our Eagle program. And I believe we've got some great coaches, great players, great kids who are going to help with that process.
Just keep the program going and bringing up all the younger kids.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what's one piece of advice you'd give to a younger student at South Hart?
I would say that never give up, that it's so important to always have a purpose and to work hard at whatever you do, that it always is watched, looked at, and it makes a difference.
Yep. So, do you have a motivational quote after that?
I do. And it was in my office last year in large billboard type fashion. It's called The Essence of Destiny. And basically it talks about your thoughts become your words become your actions become your character, who you are, and that becomes your destiny. In other words, positive thoughts, positive words, positive actions create a much more positive destiny and where you want to go in the direction. And I believe that to be true for anyone, students, staff, anybody in the community. It all has an effect.
In what ways would you like to see the school grow?
I want to see the school grow through more participation. We need to get our middle school students involved in some of our co-curricular. By that I mean our organizations, and I think we're building those and they're becoming more
Popular?
Yes, more popular and more recognized, like FBLA, FCCLA, FFA, because those organizations help to develop lifelong skills that can be taken out into the working world, college, with an individual that will make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Like you're always going to need those skills and use them throughout your life.
That's right, Garrett.
So, what is one positive impact technology has on our school?
I think it helps us, again, maintain that ability to communicate in a lot of the dual credit classes or our NDCDE classes are online. So it helps students to learn how to be effective in those classes when they go to college and how to navigate all of that.
Yep.
However, with that being said, I will say that not having access to your phones during the day makes a difference for students and teachers in the teaching and learning. It keeps all of us more in the present in whatever we're doing and communicating. So I think also us not being one-to-one is helpful as well, because it helps with the critical thinking skills.
Mm-hmm.
All of you are having to communicate, talk, work through it.
Yep. Problem solve, all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like when we don't have our phones, we can like create relationships better with each other and learn how to communicate easier, not always having to look at a screen through things like that.
Yes, and I really like during lunch when all of you can choose who you want to sit by, talk to. You can actually talk about everyday life, and it helps you learn how to navigate the ups and downs and really connect with each other.
Yep.
And that is so important.
So I also think one positive impact that technology has on our school is this podcast, because we have the ability to come out and let you guys know some insights about school and stuff like that. So just wanted to put that out there.
And with that, I would like to say thank you very much for undertaking this. First of all, it's difficult to be behind a camera and to have the conversation, but I think that it will connect our community to what we're doing inside of this school, and I appreciate being part of it. However, I think including a lot of students or different things that are happening in our school that someone might not know will be a great way of connecting. So thank you all very much
Yep.
for that.
So that brings me to another question. If you had a podcast, what would it be about?
I would probably be evangelical about why we need to learn, how education is a great equalizer, and how you can make as much out of it as you want. You can take as much out of it as you want. And public education, you learn that there are ups and downs, how to navigate that. It is more real world um, integrating and preparing you for that transition to the real world. So mine would be, and a lot of my staff meetings were like that. It's about the teaching and learning, and obviously you heard me in some of my beginning of the year assemblies
Yep.
when I talked about the fact that kids are here to learn, teachers are here to teach. Let's all do our job and get the most out of it we can. So that's how I would go about
Starting your own
presenting.
podcast.
Yep, presenting and carrying on about that at different times
Yeah.
and preparing it from different perspectives.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So, how would you define success for our students at South Hart?
I would define success by those who are going to class being respectful of their teachers, being willing to engage, being open-minded. It's having a growth mindset that says, I'm going to take as much from this as I can, and if this is an area of interest, I'm going to delve into it deeper. I'm going to learn more about it because we have so many opportunities. We've got CTE classes, from the welding and the ag portion
Yep.
to the Family and Consumer Science, FCS classes, that you can go culinary, you can go child development, all of that. We've got a para program. If they're interested in learning more about what it's like to be in the classroom, working with the younger kids and hopefully becoming a teacher, because we want to do the grow your own. And then there are the business classes. You can become an accountant, any of those. What I want for students is to be successful in wherever they find their potential and want to grow toward their strengths. And if that's directly into the workforce, then go forth and do the very best you can and learn those skills. If you want to be a welder, go weld and become the best welder you can. College, go find out what college is like and find your way there and find your passion and do the very best you can once you graduate. And so whatever that, military, if it's military, join one of the branches and go and help fight for our country. And some people really find that that structure helps them mature and find their way as well. I just want kids to find a way to be purposeful in their, and believe that they can do whatever it is they put their mind to.
Yeah, I'd like to add on to that because I believe that like a successful student at South Hart would be coming to school every day and being you, being your own character, and that character really matters with who we are and how we treat people every day. Like, remember the golden rule of treat others how you want to be treated. We should like take that and live like that and help everybody out that we can.
I absolutely agree. So thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
So how do you overcome challenges after that?
How do I overcome challenges? I think that one of the things that we all need to remember, and it helps in that mental state that we all have, about being positive and always thinking there is a better day. And I really believe a focus on God and a focus on our beliefs helps guide us, as well as our family and our friends who we surround ourselves with, help us build that foundation to overcome those challenges, to know that there are going to be setbacks, but there are always better days ahead if we stay focused and positive. we always have to find the silver lining because we learn something from everyone and everything we encounter.
Mhm. I like that. Like everything we go through, there's always a good thing and there's always a bad thing. But if we learn to focus on the good things about life, it's gonna be a lot better.
Mhm.
So, how has your job shaped you to be what you are today?
You know, it's interesting because obviously I've spent quite a few years in education, and I actually started teaching in California. I grew up in Montana on a ranch, was a farm girl,
Mhm.
moved to the city, Los Angeles, California. So I was put in there, gang members. It was
Ooh.
just a whole different world. So I had to choose to be strong and to figure out how to reach those tough kids. And I managed to do that. And so it started shaping the different ways I looked at things. So I will go back to every experience teaches us something and helps us. We did choose to come back to more of a family-oriented environment by moving back to the Montana,
Yeah.
North Dakota area, and it helped our children with their education, and they're all very successful because of the family orientation in these areas. And so we have, again, that's helped me become more successful because I like to see the impact I've had on kids. That's been my entire life. A lot of times, and during the time when I'm either having a conversation because discipline is necessary, or I'm just trying to encourage kids to do the very best they can, that there's something taken with that as maturity comes, and it might be 5 years down the road, but I've had different students come back and go, that stayed with me. And right there, that makes all the difference in the world. And I believe that's the reason a lot of us as educators do what we do. It's to impact all of you in such a way that at some point in your lives you go, I get it. I understand it. It made a difference.
Yeah.
That's why we do it.
Yeah, thank you for that. So that brings me to another question. It's kind of a fun one. What would be the theme song for your life?
Oh, Garrett, I have that one I struggle with. I don't know. Maybe I love Carrie Underwood's Amazing Grace.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I wouldn't sing it, but I love to listen to it. I don't know. I do. I think Amazing Grace in so many parts of our lives and throughout our lives. And and I would even share some of my successes in something that some of you don't know. I have a very severely handicapped granddaughter, first one in our family. My son and daughter-in-law, Madeline Hope is her name, and I believe Hope is for a reason. And I say the Amazing Grace. I believe that God gave her to our family to really think and empathize with others and understand some of the struggles.
Mm-hmm.
She just turned 5 years old. She's nonverbal, non-mobile. She requires a lot of care. We have to learn how to change her feeding tubes. But that, I think, makes us better people. But I also, again, Amazing Grace for a reason, and she has helped us become better at interacting. So God gave her to us for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I like that. So, what is one thing that you have on your bucket list?
well, I've got several things on my bucket list, but one of them is a cruise. I want to go on a cruise where it's nice and warm and just enjoy the whole atmosphere. Going to the different restaurants or places to eat the different foods.
Where would you like to go?
Well, I've decided it's not Alaska because I don't want cold. I want to see the beauty.
Yeah.
Maybe the Caribbean.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
What would I do? I would tell myself that life goes by too quickly. You know, I had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with my children because they were involved in a lot of activities and athletics, and so that was a great part of it. But it goes by in warp
Mm-hmm.
speed, and so take the time to enjoy it and really internalize it,
Mm-hmm.
because it does. It's gone before we know it.
Yeah, just be grateful for what you have and be
Hmm.
thankful for everything that you have because it's a gift and you never
Yep.
know when it won't be there because
E-
you got to cherish it when it's there.
Exactly.
So since Thanksgiving's coming up, that was a great question. So happy Thanksgiving to all you guys, and we should all be thankful for what we have and all the family and friends that we have. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below on topics we should try next. Thanks for watching.
And remember, keep your sights high, and we'll catch you next time.